established himself right away. Two scorers, the two top scorers on this St. John's team that are freshmen. You're going to see a lot of ragged play, but a lot of potential, a lot of scorers that they like with this St. John's program. Just about set to go at the beautiful Devlin Fieldhouse, just west of downtown New Orleans, and away we go.
It'll be interesting to see if Coach Dunleavy employs the zone. It kind of sounded like he wasn't going to. He hadn't played it all year, but St. John's really struggled against that zone when they played and lost to Delaware State.
35 in red is Yankuba Sima, the sophomore from Spain. Only his, well, he missed one game in the starting lineup after a bit of a struggle to start the season. Only 3 on the shot clock for Bashir Ahmed. Trying to kick it out to Levette, and not a good start for St. John's. A 30-second violation.
Shot clock went all the way down.
Yeah, not a good way to start off a game. For Tulane, bit of a lineup change. Ray Ona Embo getting his second straight start. Melvin Frazier wearing 35 in black. Started against Georgia Tech last week, but had to leave that game early with a back injury. He's back in the starting lineup tonight as the Green Wave come up empty on their first trip. Love it in transition. Too much.
And that's what you're going to see from St. John's. Coach Mullen wants them to get up and down the court, force it in transition, get good looks, and if his guys are open, he wants them to shoot that shot.
Talking with him before the game, he doesn't want to temper that enthusiasm, just perhaps add a little bit more nuance. Malik Morgan knocks one down to start the night for Tulane.
And Alex, he's key. He's a guy that he's had a slow start to the season, but for me, he's that third cog to this team that if he consistently produces, Tulane's going to come up with some wins and do some damage in the American.
It's a team that is not afraid to shoot the 3-ball. Attempted 19 plus in every game so far this year.
And importantly, they make a good portion, shooting 37.5. That's top 90 in the country, which is not bad.
I tell you, what's not bad is Shamari Pond's long-range game himself. Big East preseason freshman of the year. That his 18th three-point make, top 5 in the Big East to start the season.
Last, though, 2 games really struggled. 1 for 14 from distance, so making that first from long range is really going to do wonders for his confidence.
ESPN Adam is one of the top prospects out of the state of New York, never mind the city.
Well, and really, he was that one guy that signaled to the other players in New York that it's time to come back. Bashir Ahmed came back after that, and so you get one guy, and then the rest will follow.
Sumyakwe off the mark. Foul was on Sima for St. John's. About what we expected to start this game. 2 young teams not afraid to take their shots. The question is how good the shot selection will be tonight.
You know, they're both pretty similar as far as pace of the game.
Frazier at the line. We mentioned missed the last game with a bit of discomfort in his back. Had to get pulled last week against Georgia Tech. And extends the lead to 5-3 for Tulane.
Little escort pressure by Tulane, and you're not going to see him really go for steals, but they want to take some time off the shot clock and really force St. John into taking some errant shots like that.
And this will come our way before being saved by Pons. Plenty of time to shoot, but love it. Won't waste any hitting from the corner.
Love it or leave it, but I think they love that at St. John's, and really for them, you see them putting up shots, and they are very comfortable from the 3-point line.
Trouble for Ryan Smith, got out of it, and a corner 3 is blocked. Coming over to get that block quickly was Tariq Owens, and the foul.
At least they're going to see where they're going to land.
That's Frazier to inbound for Tulane. 1-6 on the season. Young, bit of an undersized team. Morgan, spot up 3, got it.
And again, Malik Morgan, second shot, that's big for them, spreading the wealth a little bit as far as point production. You know Cam Reynolds is the guy, but you get that third guy being operative, that's going to be big for the Green Wave.
Ahmed answers for St. John's. Well, we knew 3-point shooting was going to be a component of this game, but so far it's nearly been the exclusive part. 9-8, St. John's approaching the first timeout.
Now you see St. John's, when teams go against them in man-to-man, will play the triangle.
nearly dropped off the carom from the heel of the rim. Malik Morgan, first miss of the day.
Most important thing for Tulane is that defensive transition.
Well, it's hard to cover when they're shooting that fast. Shamari Pons again. St. John's extends the lead.
And that makes the closeout defensively important for Tulane. So you're seeing right now Tulane getting caught up into that fast-paced tempo with St. John's, taking some shots where I believe Coach Dunleavy would rather them get into a half-court set if they don't get that ease look.
I don't know if it's fair to characterize the pace this way, but it feels like a schoolyard game. Just run up and shoot it. Great overlap on the baseline. They elect to back it out. Love it again. Yes. How about this start from outside for St. John's?
It's just what the doctor ordered when it comes to St. John's. You look at the way they played against Delaware State, and really their makes were few and far between. But starting the game this way and being able to sustain it kind of hit Tulane in the mouth early, and they have not responded well.
Morgan got stripped on the drive. It bounced to the corner, and a three ball off the mark. Reynolds nearly grabbed the offensive rebound.
So if they start the game making it, they're going to keep taking it.
Well, they started out the season in an explosive way. They won their first 2 games, but they've lost 5 straight and looked a little bit listless against Delaware State, mostly on the defensive end. They can score. That's not a question mark for this St. John's team at all.
And I actually think one of the problems for St. John's is those early games, they shot so well from the 3 with a young team. They thought it was going to be that easy, and then they hit that roadblock, and they didn't have shots like this, and they didn't knock them down, and they hit that little roadblock against Delaware State, and it really was tough for them to recover.
7 of 9 tries have been from deep. They've hit 6 of them.
I mean,
okay.
You would think Chris Mullins is out there shooting threes the way that this team is out there knocking them down.
But really struggled to put the ball in the basket. They played the battle for Atlantis.
It remains to be seen. Is this the wake-up call, or, you know, do they still have a little bit farther to fall? But it looks to me like it was a nice little wake-up call, and they're ready to go.
It almost felt like one. Given the uproar from alumni afterwards, this will stay with Tulane. A member of this St. John's family, brought this team to the Final Four the last time in the 80s, so he knows how important it is to get this program back to prominence in New York City. 15 to shoot, and Smith back turn to the rim. That's a nice finish for the senior.
You know, that's something that he can do, but they don't see a lot of that production from him. But down on the block, they need to get somebody to score, and until they do, having a guy like Malik Morgan coming out of this game starting well, it was really big for Tulane.
We'll have to contend with this three-point shooting at a torrid pace to start for St. John's. 7 on the clock. Trying to go inside, and Bashir Ahmed had that roll off his leg and out of play.
You know, one thing I do like about Tulane, you see the defense of Tulane. Great job getting that hand in there by Melvin Frazier, knocking that ball out. And really, defense is team. There's no one-on-one. A team is going to stop someone, and a team is going to get back.
Talked about the losing streak, too, for Tulane. Program that has come close to start the season as Smith gets fouled on the baseline. ESPN app and watch ESPN. Number 2, and they extend that winning streak. They're trying to get to that 90 that they had a couple of years ago. It's well within reach at this point for the UConn women.
And I would think for Coach Ariema, for him, it's hard to get things to rile his team up until you start a season after you won and you're not number 1. That could be some mode of motivation for that team. Like, hey, you guys are not the best.
Well, they still haven't faltered. 7-point lead for St. John's. 3-point shooting has not relented. Ellison's going to give it another go. This is incredible.
And you know, for St. John's, the fact that they're able to continue this, you look at the guards, and they've just done a great job of distributing the rock. And honestly, Tulane is not playing poorly defensively. But when you have a team that's on fire and knocking down shots, great offense, for me, is always going to beat great defense.
Could not have a better start. 7 of 8 from 3. And a turnover here. And Ona Embo getting a bump in transition. And the continuation.
And really, this is great defense. You see him getting in front. They tried to split the double team. Great pinch there by Ryan Smith, and then Ona Embo doing an exceptional job taking it coast to coast lightly.
Huh.
That's a pivotal play for Tulane, who really needed a three-point production on the offensive side.
Wow. Okay. And Ryan Smith untouched to the rim.
I love the way they're utilizing Ryan Smith. They're just having him rim run every single time, using that size and attacking it. He's doing a great job catching and finishing down low.
Smith hasn't been their #1 option, but they've gone to him a couple times. Musini adds to the three-point party for St. John's.
Well, I mean, it's hard for Tulane when the best three-point shooter on St. John's comes off the bench and he knocks it down. They're just carrying it on.
Now, percentage-wise, as this is a foul on the Red Storm, Reynolds getting fouled.
Even though they're missing, they're continuing to take shots that might not be there. But you're going to ride this as long as you can.
So 2 at the line for Cam Reynolds.
I would wonder if Tulane might want to mix it up a little bit, throw in a zone, trap in the corner, something to try to affect this three-point shooting by St. John's.
You know, we talked to Mike Dunleavy yesterday about this, and he said we just want to shore up that man-to-man defense first.
Coach Dunleavy, as an NBA coach, he wasn't a gimmicky type of a guy. He's going to play you straight up, use that man-to-man, and he wants his team to learn, which is one of the reasons why I think they're staying with that man-to-man.
Offensive foul, and it comes in a rare touch inside Amar Alibegovic. Sema has 2, Ellison has 2, and that's the second foul just now for Alibegovic.
That's one of the things that Tulane cannot afford. Very thin, not only in the front line, but as a team. So they have to be very wary when it comes to fouls.
Kane Harris wearing 11 in black. He's teamed up to be second leading scorer behind Reynolds. We have a travel.
Yeah. But you see St. John's coming out in that zone and frustrated and confused Tulane a little bit in that offensive possession.
First turnover for the Green Wave. Turnover, something that hasn't harmed them too much this year. Nice interior pass. Akwe couldn't do much with it, backed it out, and Richard Freudenberg on the take comes up empty. That lead pass gets tipped at midcourt, and Pons handoff to Musini, knocks one down.
You know, one of the problems that I had, not really a problem, but something I wanted them to work with, was the assist rate for St. John's. But the unselfishness this Red Storm team is playing early in this first half has really been something to watch.
Harris steps in, rattles this in and out, and Freudenberg the rebound.
St. John's is just their ability to take what the defense gives them each time and get a good look. Really not playing like a young team in this first half.
The ball movement has been terrific.
I mean, even in missed shots like that, good shot by Yakwe, but they're getting open looks. They're getting the shot that they want, which is what you want from a team.
Ryan Smith gets hit from behind. No call. It's a clean play on the ball.
Offensively, Tulane is struggling a little bit with some continuity.
Musini from way outside. This is amazing. 10 of 11.
Well, when it comes to Musini, you know he's going to take threes. 72% of his shots are three-pointers. Basketball season for this first 11 minutes of this game.
We know Chris played with the Warriors, but well before Steph Curry's time. As Smith, I want to talk about a contrast in styles, puts it in with the right.
Well, hey, you got to stop the bleeding. Well-designed play by Coach Dunleavy, in and out, getting it to Smith. They're using that size right now. No, the Red Storm is in foul trouble. Smart play.
Pons, no look pass, and a contest on the dunk. Second one won't go. And St. John's, with 2 good looks, comes up empty.
Great job. Didn't over-penetrate. Kicking it out.
Reynolds off the mark from 3. He had that lined up, and St. John's, a team that, strangely enough, still hasn't made a 2 in this game. Musini stepping in will make the first one.
And again, like I said last possession, Musini's a guy who shoots 3/4 of his shots from distance, and nice pump fake. They read the scouting report, but he nice on the deck to a nice easy 2 for St. John's.
Sophomore from Italy is Ona Embo has 6, or rather has 8. Shamori Pons is 6. Everything has seemed to work for St. John's.
particularly the three. Record-setting pace for St. John's. School record is 16 for the game. They're at 10. So, I mean, will they get it before half? It's plausible. Not something I think they're going to do, but man, the way that they're shooting early on in this game is something that is, as a player, you just dream about these moments.
Lane just hoping to slow it down at the very least. Von Julian.
When they're on their game offensively, it really initiates and invigorates them defensively because the active hands are getting fingers on a lot of balls. They're really frustrating Tulane offensively. 5 to shoot. And Slater in big trouble. Harris got it off at the buzzer. Just hit the front of the rim. Oh, an offensive board. And one. You got to do it inch by inch.
I mentioned earlier the pace of the game was almost like a schoolyard. That's a very schoolyard play. Just knock it out of your hands before you can even take it in.
Yeah. Something that the bigs don't like because the littles would just come in there with their hands and just knock it out.
Tulane showing a little bit of pressure, but back into this man-to-man set now. 3 minutes to play in the first half, looking to do anything to slow down this St. John's offense. Pons a kick out, and Ahmed, yes.
And St. John's has been going back to the picker on pick and roll situations, and then in that scenario went opposite and reversed the ball to the nice corner three for an open jumper, and showing a lot of experience for this young basketball team for St. John's.
11 three-pointers on the night for the Red Storm. Morgan off the shot fake. Didn't get the second one away cleanly. And the lead pass, Lovett trying to corral, but lost it off his hands.
And I'm not seeing that from St. John's. I mean, they're not getting relaxed. They're not getting casual. They want to keep it going. They want to keep putting pressure. And for a young team, that's exceptional. And I'm sure the coaching staff has been harping in their ear like, look, don't let up. Keep going.
Von Julian splits into the lane. Basket's waved off. It's an offensive foul going the other way.
Well,
resulted in an offensive foul.
And that's what you can do when you're a team like St. John's that has those rim protectors. You can funnel guys into them, and they're doing a good job of doing just that. And their bigs are taking care of that painted area.
Under 2 minutes to play, first half, and Musini, only his second miss of the day.
Cam Reynolds has his size on Musini down low. They need to try to get him the basketball.
He had his hand up asking for it. Instead, it's Ona Embo. He hits from three. That's not exactly his shot. Start of the year, 1 of 8 from downtown, but why not when three-point shots seem to be falling everywhere?
The dribble drive has worked really well for St. John this whole first half.
Love it in the corner. Trying to shake away from this man-to-man defensive set. 6 to shoot. Starting his drive and getting it knocked away was Pond.
A local talent like he has. I mean, he's a Jordan Brand All-American, and so you get a guy like that to signal to the rest of those top flight guys that, hey, I'm going to stay home and make this happen at home. It's big for your program.
One of his teammates went to play locally as well at St. Francis, as Reynolds has not seen many touches this first half, now with 4 points. Try to chip this deficit back down for Tulane as we approach the half.
And I like the composure by Cam Reynolds on that shot. He took his time over the defense. He's got the height, the length for that shot, and he didn't rush anything.
Freudenberg nearly got up in the air. Wide open. Ahmed gets blocked. Frazier skying in for the rejection. Pons tried to recover, and a scramble on the floor results in a foul. So since he's receiving medical attention, Ryan Smith returns and he'll shoot the free throw.
Young team, young coach, and Coach Mullen, and he's signaling to his team, hey, you get the rebound, call a timeout. He's going to work on some late shot plays for his team. And again, that's what you want to work on pre-conference. Set yourself in the scenarios that you're possibly going to face once you're in conference play.
Even though Ryan Smith is one of their big men, he's also one of their best free throw shooters. 92% entering the day.
Why'd you do that to him?
I mean, it happens all the time.
Only when the play-by-play guy does that, though.
Only when that happens. And we have a timeout. Lovett tiptoeing near midcourt.
Probably getting a 1-4 flat and just let Lovett create with a high pick and roll type situation.
Lovett with 11 first half points. The pull-up jumper and the foul.
That's their leading score. And for a redshirt freshman, showed a lot of poise in late clock situation.
Last second heave.
For me and everybody else in this arena is, can St. John sustain that high level type of shooting?
Keep in mind their season high is 12 3-point makes in a game. They have 11 already. That's a good start for Tulane. Ryan Smith has been a welcome addition down low, featuring into this game a little bit more than what we thought he might.
And to add to that, their season high might be 12, but their career high is 16 for three-pointers. So I'm sure that's something that if they know about, they're going to go after.
A lot of digging to do yet for the Green Wave. And a rare turnover. Ahmed coughed it up. In transition, Reynolds catch and shoot. He's got it. Maybe quick points for Tulane to start the half. Tulane starting the half on a 5-0 run, trying to chip away at this large deficit and throwing some three-quarter pressure out there.
Yeah, nice little 2-2-1, and Coach Dunleavy feels a little kink in the armor and wants to try to make some inroads. And look, as well as St. John's played, they're only down 14.
Yeah.
So it's not out of reach for Tulane.
Well, that's a miss for sure. Yeah, that's what a lot of times your referee perhaps catches out of the corner of your eye. You don't see it right away.
And you're seeing early on in this first half that Tulane tried to establish lower block, but great ball movement by Tulane.
And a terrific offensive rebound, but Malik Morgan just couldn't finish the putback.
And I think one of the reasons why Chris Mullen called that early timeout, because with such a young team, did not want them to get dissuaded a little bit with Tulane coming out with that hot shooting second half.
A little bit of errant dribbling in the low post for Lovett and a kick out. What do you know? Another three-pointer. It's Pons again. And the lead extends for St. John's. 12 points now for the freshman.
You got to look at the style of coaching of Chris Mullen. He talked a lot about Nelly and the way that he was kind of hands-off offensively. A team shooting threes like St. John's, you need to have some serious closeout, make them put it on the dribble and score around the rim or just something else, but not from the three-point line.
And Lovett at full speed. Able to hit with the right hand. It's interesting, when St. John's has slowed it down, they've been a little bit less effective.
Yeah, they really have, because, again, this is a team that wants to get up and down the court, but the ease of which Pons just attacked that rim, you just can't have defensively for your team.
Frazier off the kick out, and Morgan stepping in. Nice pass to Smith, and gets the foul. Back to basics for Tulane.
And this is what you got to do. You see a great job. Look at the pump fake, getting the defender off his feet and then just diming it to Smith down low. Another good pump fake, getting the defenders up in the air. And you got to remember, this team in St. John's leads the Big East in block shots. So you know they're going to try to block everything. Good job by Tulane, getting them up in the air, creating that body contact, and getting that N1 scoring opportunity.
Smith now just 1 point away from matching a career high, has 13 on the night.
And I think you're going to see Tulane try to stay with this full court pressure and a little 2-2-1, not necessarily trying to steal the ball, but just take them out of their offensive comfort zone that St. John's is obviously in.
High screen set up by Sema, and Pons again from the corner, this time too strong. Quick outlet with Frazier in the front court, working on Lovett, and scores with the right hand.
Easy buckets in transition. Let your defense create offense, particularly when you're struggling. And Tulane really juxtaposition of teams the way that they're playing in this second half.
Sema in some space, but jumper's not exactly his forte. Well, maybe it is. A slow start for Sema this season, only averaging 7 points per game. He knocks down the mid-range jumper. Foul in transition with Reynolds, forcing St. John's to backpedal.
of that transition hoop. You're seeing first, your defense doesn't stop until you get the defensive rebound. And look at Malik Morgan. He's been key for me, the way he's got the ball, push it up in transition. Just a great job of Melvin Frazier finishing in transition and getting those easy transition buckets.
Tulane perhaps not as well equipped. Reach-in foul here on Pons.
As well, so you got a lot of offensive firepower on that bench. Yeah, they're well equipped to run up and down the court.
Malik Morgan hits from 3.
And again, I said that at the beginning of this game that, look, he's had a slow start of the season. That's Morgan, and he's a huge key offensively for this team. And you see him playing well, and Tulane inching back into this game. He's a guy that does a lot for the Green Wave.
Crowd getting into it at Devlin Fieldhouse. They nearly got a travel from Marcus Lovett. They get it back in the low post, and Ahmed following up the miss to make a meal out of that, or make something out of that possession, as Ryan Smith now has a career high 15 with the flush the other way. They can attack quickly.
But before that, you saw St. John's get that offensive rebound, an area where they should dominate, but then do a good job getting back in transition, and Tulane took advantage of that.
That's Mussini. You want to talk about full speed.
High off the glass.
It's a depth touch for Mussini attacking the rim.
Ryan Smith might have turned a corner this season offensively, the way that he's played in this game.
Morgan, nifty.
You know, the last 2 games, Morgan has been shooting with a lot of confidence, shooting 50% for 3, so he's due for a big game, but the confidence that he's showing down the stretch for the Green Wave is big.
Sema missed everything. A rebound for Frazier, going all the way. Got it stripped at the last moment. Didn't get it cleanly.
See, this is where Tulane has to be careful, and you got to get a good look, because St. John's, they are built for speed, and they're going to take advantage of it.
Mussini, perfect kick out, but a bad miss from the corner. Ahmed way off the mark. Frazier forced it through traffic, looking for a foul.
Yeah, it looked like St. John's got away with one on that possession.
And Mussini converts on the other end. Pace is certainly out of the, and you see them slow it down.
Yeah.
Way out of the range that Tulane would want to play this game. Morgan, the fadeaway.
Yeah, and that wasn't a good shot. Defense was set. Ball did not move from side to side. No opportunity for an offensive rebound. Yeah, you want to play it slower, but you also want to make the defense move. And when you just do a little Kobe ISO, you don't have to do that.
All right, Smith gets fouled, and it takes us to a timeout, allowing us to catch our breath. Passing UCLA from all those decades ago, they're not too far away.
I'm a little surprised Coach Millen was smiling after that timeout. Not like he has a lot to smile about.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's not a smiling type.
You know, to that point, though, his demeanor is perfect for this team, because doesn't get too high, doesn't get too low, very even-keeled.
This offense has been stroking it from the outset. Nearly came up with a steal. Ellison got a hand on it.
They're going to coast, but, you know, this is a young team putting their foot on the pedal, and you like to see that from a team. They're competing.
You mentioned it earlier. Why let up when you're looking to build confidence?
Right, and really, you look at their record, they're 2-5, so it's not like they've accomplished anything. And so, look, they're building, they're looking bigger picture, trying to get better for conference play. But I love what I'm seeing from St. John's.
Oh, terrific pass. Just a tough look off the fingertips of Tariq Owen.
Behind the line and gets that N1 scoring opportunity.
76-51. St. John's on a 14-2 run. Tulane brought this game within 13, and you had a sense that if they could contain St. John's for a little bit, that the Green Wave had a chance of climbing back. But what a response from Chris Mullen's bunch. Cam Reynolds, a little jab step and step back. Oh, you think in a home gym you get a roll like that. Nice save from Smith. They got an extra 30.
Smart play by Smith, kicking it out, didn't have the shot, just reset.
And it's Smith with the drop step. Couldn't hit with the left. Pons in transition, and Mussini gets rejected by Smith. His 10th block of the year. Reynolds hand fighting in transition with Ali Begovic. That game, they led them by 11 in the first half. They scored 43 in the second half against UNC, but trailed big time at the break there. They led Oklahoma by 3 at the half. Trailed by 3 at the half. Led a lot of the first half of that game with Georgia Tech for a while, but they have yet to put it together for 40. And tonight, just getting off to a rocky start with the way that St. John's shot the ball to begin this game. 13 3-pointers for St. John's as they aim to snap this 5-game losing streak. Won't do it with a shot like that.
And again, you got to credit the way St. John played. There's not too many teams that could have withstood the onslaught offensively that the Red Storm put out early on in that game. What's back in defense? You got to kick that out, reset your offense, because Tulane is really more built for a half-court situation than they are running for a full 40 minutes.
Nice pass to the corner from Pons, and a 3-ball up and good. Number 14 on the night for the Red Storm. It's Ahmed adding his name to the score sheet.
Well, what's scary for Tulane, if you're defending St. John's, is that St. John's is just sharing the ball so well that there's not one player that you can key on. They are all shooting that 3-ball exceptionally well.
I'm with you. If Red Storm show up in a performance like this in Atlantis, flip one of those early losses, this rims in and out for Malik Morgan. Even if you have a more convincing day, not necessarily sluggish as they were against Delaware State, if you enter this game 3-4 and you have a performance like this, you're feeling a lot better about yourself.
You'd rather have a Delaware State at this point of the season, though, because as a team, particularly a young team, you can tell them, like, hey, guys, you remember what happened? Don't get cocky, don't get casual, and he'll be able to remind them regardless of what's the outcome of this game.
They know their capabilities. Still have 8 minutes and change remaining in this game. They might hit the century mark. Oh, my!
And
that's his first of the year.
But the funny thing is, he throws up the 3 as if no one knew, as far back as he was, that was a 3-point shot.
Golly. 15 3-pointers. Keep in mind the school record is 16.
I think he wanted to let everybody know back in Rome. He signaled that all the way back to Italy. 3-ball.
Meanwhile, on the other end, Ryan Smith with a heads-up play after shot block number 6 from St. John's tonight. We knew that this team was explosive in many ways. They can attack the rim. They can shoot the 3. But perhaps in this 5-game losing streak, they've bottled up a lot of that and letting loose on one night.
But, you know, to the credit of Coach Mullen, this is what he envisions for this offense. He wants that free-flowing, high-powered offense where if you got a shot, you take it. And, I mean, this is what's happened in this game.
And on this possession alone, it'll result in a foul, a bit of a bailout.
To the open guy. And when you have that type of unselfishness, particularly with a losing team, that speaks to the character of the guys that you bring in.
Just count them out at home. How many touches?
Hey, it's all about going side to side. Coach Larry Brown used to talk about that all the time. You hit 3 sides of the court, and you're going to shoot at least over 50%.
That's 10 before the shot at 10. A tough one at that. That's got to be a component.
Well, not only that, but you see the quickness of the pass. A lot of touch passes, and it brings to mind, we showed the picture of Golden State earlier, the way Golden State plays. It's quick touch passes to the open guy who can step into his jumper.
Von Julian stepping into one from the corner. There's something that Tulane has struggled with more than anything else. It is on the defensive end. Averaging north of 80 points per game allowed coming into the day, which is last in the league. And that up-tempo style does open the door if you have an up-tempo opponent to light it up. Skims off the rim from Freudenberg.
50% of their shot from 3. Yeah. It could be a recipe for disaster, which is what has ended up happening.
Opponents have shot the ball from the field at least 43% or better in every game. It hasn't been clean this year, but it's like nothing like the gaudy numbers that Red Storm put up as Frazier uses the window on a nice cut to get to the basket.
You know, this team has a very different look when Melvin Frazier plays on it. Most athletic player on the team, and he's a guy that can defend. It adds a lot. It's just a more confident team when he's out on the court.
St. John's picked 8th in the Big East this year. They might finish higher than that if they have a performance like the one we're seeing tonight from their shooters, as Lovett again connects. He has 18.
You know, that's reminiscent for me to the last possession of the half, where Lovett didn't over-penetrate. He takes what the defense gives him, and he gets that little sliver, pulls up for that nice 15-footer. Well, he's been deadly thus far in this game.
Last won the Big East title in 2000. It's been a while for this program. And a start like this got everyone breathing heavily again in Queens. But if they can put it together, they'll win some games. And given how deep the Big East is this year.
It's the second best conference in the land right now. And with St. John playing well, I mean, you're going to have a lot of depth. But you got 4 teams in the top 20.
Steal from Frazier. And Morgan slowing it up. Frazier going to the basket and drawing the contact from Freudenberg.
A guy that would work tirelessly on his game, automatic as a jump shooter, and you know, the results stand for itself.
A Hall of Famer in his own right.
The standard bearer, I remember, guy I love was Walter Berry, kind of that same era, but I mean, just silky smooth the way that he would play. But you know, great bigs, great guards. Bill Winnington, you know, and he wants to bring that back for St. John's.
Morgan going up and under.
One thing Morgan has displayed all game long is the deft display of his pump fake, and for a team like St. John's, who leads the Big East in block shots, it's well needed and well utilized.
Morgan, another nice move, draws the blocking foul. Now remember, Morgan transferred from LSU after his freshman year. And Frazier, who's battled injury trouble this year.